Hi guys, it's Mark from anypond.com, your trusted resource in the UK for ponds and water features. And today's question is, when should I turn off my pond equipment for the winter? Well, it depends on what equipment you have, whether you should turn it on and off in the winter. What we've got here is we've got two little waterfalls, and the problem with in the winter is they might dam up. So then what happens is it causes an ice dam, and then what can happen is the water can overflow the edges. But apart from that, then there's not really much that can go wrong with a waterfall. But certainly it's a case of, it depends on what equipment you have, whether you should turn your equipment off. Let's say you had a canister filter or a pressurized filter on the side of the pond that's not buried in the ground, that's not protected. And what could happen is, in a deep freeze, the equipment could actually freeze parts and actually crack it off. And then when the thaw comes, what happens is that crack will cause a leak. And I've actually seen a lot of ponds in the winter time, when the pond's thawed out, with actually it's drained right down within a matter of hours. I get a panic phone call in the morning: Mark, my pond's empty, what do I do? All my fish are just flapping around on the bottom. Well, that's when you should turn your filter systems off. So if they're not protected, or if it's a case of we're going to have a real cold spell, then I would switch the filters off. The manufacturers recommend that you switch them off to prolong the life of their equipment. And if you don't, then obviously that's neglect, so it wouldn't be covered under any warranties or anything like that. So it depends on the system, it depends on what equipment you have, whether you need to switch it off in the winter. I actually prefer to leave things running, because the biggest fish kill, believe it or not, in the winter is actually oxygen. And if you don't have a hole in the ice, and that's falling water stopping the ice forming over the top of the pond, you can have gases and stuff produced, and it's trapped under the ice. So you need that gas exchange, you need that oxygen going into the pond to carry on letting the bugs and stuff break down the waste, because the fish are the first to suffer from lack of oxygen. So the biggest fish killer in the winter is actually lack of oxygen. When it's decomposing leaves, a lot of the beneficial bacteria and stuff can live with a lot less oxygen than the fish. So the fish are always first to go, and it's always the big fish that go first. So there's a few tips whether you should turn your filter system on or off through the winter system. Hope you've learnt something, and hopefully you won't have any problems in the winter. My name's Mark from anypond.com, your trusted resource in the UK, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.